Yes. It's not good. It's fucking amazing. Sinners was a fucking amazing movie experience, at least in my opinion, in the same opinion that I share with the friends that I went along with. It was fucking fantastic watch. I will get into spoilers when I'm talking about this movie. Let's just dive right into it. I suppose to start off, we can talk about like I guess the things that I do like, and we'll end off with things I don't like. So things I do like, I love the way this movie was shot. There's a lot of one shots, and for those of you who don't know, my favorite type of shots done in movies are like one shots that are take just one take, and it's just the characters moving around, or it's like still shots where the camera moves but the character stays the same but it still remains in focus. I love those kind of shots, and we do see quite a few of those in this movie. But my favorite part, my favorite thing about this movie is the soundtrack. It's the score of the movie. It's fucking amazing. It goes heavily, it does a lot for the suspense of the movie, a lot with the horror aspects of the movie, a lot with like the cultural significance they imply in the movie, and a lot of this ties in with what I mentioned before, like my one shots are my favorite shots. There's this one scene, and very heavy spoilers. There's this one scene where the character Sammy is playing the guitar, and the way they start off the movie too, by the way, is they start off like there's these types of people who are like born with the talent of music, and they're able to play music, and then open up a veil between the dead and the living, and you're also able to like connect with those from the future, and those from the past, and those from different cultures, and like it's supposed to represent like music is this whole universal thing within humanity, and it's like this thing that connects all of our souls together and all of our cultures and expressive arts together. That's the kind of what I got off of it. But we see a scene where the character Sammy's playing his guitar, and he plays it so well, and we see all these different people from like the future, like black artists from the future and the past. And then we even see people from like different cultures, from like Asian culture, because there's like Asian characters in the movie, and like we see them playing like music from different time periods, from like the 90s, 70s, early 2000s, even like way back before the movie take place, like early ancient African tribal music too. And they blended it all so well, like it fit in so fucking well, and I feel like that's something hard to do. There's this director, I don't know his name, but he directed the movie The Great Gatsby, the one with Tobey Maguire, and he also directed the recent Elvis movie. And he has this kind of the signature technique he does in the movies where he essentially plays music from the time period in which the movie takes place in, and then he blends it with like more modern music. We see this with the Bang Bang song.
I love her, can't leave her. Forever, I always need her. She lied, but I believe her. Love sick, I got that fever.
And it plays in with like a lot more modern hip hop music and blends it in well. It blends it in. And then we see the same thing with the Elvis movie, right? He plays some Elvis, not some Elvis song, but some like sounds from the back and from during that time period, and he blends it in with like modern music. I bring that up because it's not well done a lot of the time, in my opinion. The Bang Bang song is really good, but a lot of the time it's just not well done. You can kind of tell like it feels a little weird, like why are we having this in this kind of like music? But in this scene, in this movie, in Sinners, it's played fucking fantastic. It's great. Like I can't get that scene out of my head. It's such a fucking fantastic scene, and I just love it so much. It's crazy. Like I'm dick writing here, and I'm fucking dick writing the fuck out of this movie because the movie was fucking great. Besides the soundtrack, which was fucking perfect in my opinion, that's like the best part of this fucking movie. The Shueyo shot is really good. We had really good action scenes too, but it wasn't very action focused. It was a lot more horror-esque and more suspense. The characters were great in my opinion. The relationship between the brother was really good, and the brother's relationship with like other characters were really good. And it shows like this theme of just trauma, and as well as like sin, like sinful acts, and how it affects us and how it kind of sticks with us, and how we tend to just, I guess, not let go. I'm assuming that's also like that's one of the major themes of it. I feel like it's one of those things where you got to rewatch, and if you really want to analyze and really understand the themes, you probably got to rewatch the movie. But based off a first time experience, I feel like it's really about letting go of pain, letting go like the suffering you've been through in order to, I guess, resolve yourself of sins. Maybe I'm a bit I'm not confused on that, but I guess it's just it was just like I was experiencing such a good movie. I wasn't really thinking too much about like the whole themes and like little, I suppose, like the analysis of it, because the only reason why I bring up like it's letting go is because at the end of the movie, like the character Sammy is told to let go of the guitar and let God into his heart and to like, I guess, absolve himself of his sins, but he ends up not doing it, and he ends up kind of just playing the guitar until he dies. Yeah, this movie is really good. The characters were fucking great. I liked a lot of the characters. The action, the gore was really good for this movie. I well, I don't see it online, but like I always kind of have an iffy thing when it comes to like talking about gore or rating gore in movies, because I feel like gore, the rating of gore really just depends on the kind of movie you're watching. If I'm watching Final Destination, or if I'm watching like, I don't know, Saw or The Human Centipede, I'm going to be expecting the body horror and the gore to be very grotesque and gross, because that's what those movies are kind of aiming for. This movie is very just violent, and it's not aiming for heavy gore. There is a lot of gore in it, like a lot of blood, a lot of eating meat and all that, and it's played really well in the scene. It's, or not the scene, but played throughout the movie. It's very good, it's very well done, and I'm just, it's just really, it's really gets me excited just thinking that this movie was really good. And also goes into it too, visual effects were like fantastic. They did a lot, like I've mentioned before, they did a lot of good camera shots and camera movement that I really like. Oh, one shot takes, I fucking love those things, and the score was fucking fantastic. I'm trying to think of anything else that I did like about the movie. Great characters, great like setting. Well, it's obviously, for those who don't know, like, right, it's about vampires, right? Vampires come in and they start wrecking all the shit, and it's just fucking fantastic. The vampires are done really well. They really drive up, like, there's not a lot of jump scares, but what it is, it's just very suspenseful, and it does it very fucking well. Especially if, like, the music helps out a lot. Like, they do this thing where like they do this banging thing, and like it kind of plays in with the suspense of it, and like nothing happens, but something happens behind the scenes that you're not really know of. And it's just done very good. Now, the things that I don't like about the movie is, there's not a lot of things that I don't like about the movie. I do feel like the movie does take its time to set up, because we don't really get introduced into the vampires. Well, if you're following the 3 structure act rule of storytelling, the vampires don't show up until the second act, until like midway into the second act of the movie, which is essentially like half the movie, or the last quarter of the movie. Not the last quarter, but they just show up like until the halfway through the movie. And it's also like, I do feel like the part where the vampires are waiting for the people inside the pub to come out, or for them to find a way to get in. I feel that whole sequence, or that whole part of the story, is a little short. I kind of wish it was longer, and we spent more time in there, and more interactions between the vampires and the humans. But other than that, I thought it was still a fantastic movie. Rating it on a scale of 1 to 10, this is definitely a 9 out of 10 movie. I feel like the ultimate test, though, is to really see if it's a rewatchable movie, because that's really one of the kind of things that really tests movies, and in my opinion at least, it tests whether a movie is really good or not, if it's rewatchable or not. Because I feel like really great movies are those that are also rewatchable at the same time. And I feel like this movie really might be rewatchable, because there's like a lot of things that are hidden that you can kind of go through and like just see, like, oh, okay, I get that connection, I get that reference, or I kind of get how this is connected during the time period in which the movie takes place. Other than that, it was still a very fantastic movie, and I loved it a lot. I do recommend watching it, and it's definitely worth the watch. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. See ya.